Okay, the basics of the Constitution in about a minute. The Constitution is the American framework for government. It's a set of plans and rules for the government of the United States. It was created in 1787 at the Constitutional Convention in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. James Madison took the lead in creating and writing it, although he had the help of many others. It establishes the values of our countries and how our government will work. At the basis of this is the idea of separation of power. We separate our power so it's not abused. We have three branches of government that separate and share power: the legislative, judicial, and executive branch. Also, power is shared and separate between state, local, and national government in the federal system or federalism. Each level of government has its own role and has to work together, although the national government is ultimately sovereign in our country. Popular sovereignty is probably the most important idea in the entire Constitution. It's the idea that power in our country is ultimately with the common person. The common person can exercise their power in this country as a citizen by voting. And through that voting, they can control what the government does. In terms of the three branches, the legislative branch is a bicameral system. That means it has two voting houses. The lower house, which is determined by population of the vote, population of the states, and the upper house, or Senate, which has two representatives per state. In the lower house, states that have higher population have more votes. All bills have to pass through both levels before it can be sent to the president to be approved to be a law. The legislative branch makes and creates laws and debates them. The executive branch is the president and all the workers under the president. The president actually approves or vetoes laws and then puts the laws into action. He does that with a staff of about over 4 million people who work to put laws into action and make sure they're enforced or carried out. The judicial branch interprets laws and also determines that they are being followed properly by individual people. The top of the judicial branch is the Supreme Court, which has 9 justices, which vote on the most difficult cases and take appeals and determine if laws are constitutional or not. Perhaps the most important part of our Constitution is that it is able to be changed. It is changed more flexible through the amendment process. Although it's not easy to change the Constitution, it can be done and has been done many times before. The flexibility of our Constitution allows it to still be effective even today and to fix past mistakes 230 years after it started. In the beginning, there was a lot of controversy whether to start the Constitution. The Federalists were the people who supported it, like Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison wrote Federalist Papers to get it passed.